Hello everybody and welcome back to the Gaming Geezer 1965. Today I'm going to play a vintage Sega Collection game series, but I'm going to pick only one game from here. This collection was released on the Xbox 360 and I truly love those collections, and unfortunately, just like with the Sega Ages collection on Nintendo consoles, there were just a few released, not too much. Somehow some games keep being left out. But I wanted to pay attention to one game, and that is the following. Let's first press start. Yes, we have an autosave feature. And this is the game I wanted to play. Super Hang-On. Why? Well, quite a while back I did a video on the Sega Mega Drive Mini 2, and it had Super Hang-On, the Mega Drive version, where there were the arcade version was available to play, and also an original version where you play and upgrade your bike to better standards and things like that. And when I was playing, it felt like playing the arcade, and it even felt almost as smooth and graphically very close. So the question was this a feeling because it was so long ago that I played the original arcade version, or was it not the rose-tinted glasses that were speaking, but my true sense of remembering how it looked like? We will soon see. First of all, let's see what kind of options we get here. Because you can tweak a lot of things and you can make the game, if my memory serves me well, a bit easier. Game settings. Game version difficulty, as you can see, easy, normal, hard and very hard. But easier than easy you cannot do on the difficulty, but the time limit, there you have easy, normal, hard and very hard. So somehow both dip switches are, well, one option short on this one. And of course I want the demo sound back. And back again. And let's start the game. Let's bring back the arcade times. And before I press start, I truly love the fact that they recreated that arcade cabinet with the handlebars and the bike shape. Local mode. Oh, no screen, you just immediately start. Press the start button, but I didn't figure out how to... Oh, it's the other stick that works. Ah, that was the proper button. I hope that... Oh, it strikes! Oh, too bad. Well, the trigger is accelerating, and let's see what is the turbo. That's not a turbo. We have to wait until we reach the proper speed again. I'm not going to reach the proper speed. Ah, it's the B button. What I notice is this even feels blockier than the Mega Drive version. I don't know if this is true, but I have to actually try and make a video to put them side to side. But yes, this is more fluid, of course, because this is proper sprite scaling. Unfortunately, the Motor Rider looks like he's being squashed by gravity. So, when I finish this game, or when the game is game over, we will see if I can get the normal image back, because maybe back in the past it didn't mind for me that it was a misshape and I wanted to film the full screen. Or maybe this game just doesn't have the option to go by the old screen format. And that would be a shame, to be honest, because this doesn't look period perfect. And also, it looks like a fat guy riding a bike. I think the turbo adds a bit of a gameplay feature there, so you get more speed on the easier corners. But I have to play this game a lot more often to memorize where to use it and where not to use it. I guess it's really very easy. But I make more mistakes in this arcade version than I made on the Sega Mega Drive version. And no, I haven't been practicing the Mega Drive version before I made the video. And no, I didn't actually start this game in this video as well. So I came as equally unprepared as possible. So it should be, yeah, an honest comparison. So as you can see, there's a lot more opponents to bump against, and that makes things more difficult. Well, I still made it to the finish, so I guess we're gonna make the finish because this game is on the most easy setting that you can find. And it's actually meant really easy, except for the amount of bikes that you have to pass. Whoa! I guess this is the final corner, so we might be able to still make it. And yes, we do. Even while I was way underperforming. Well, it's nice to be able to show you the finish, of course, but... So we finished, so can I go back with... I pressed a button. Exit game. No, exit to main menu. Because I think if we want to change the screens, we gotta go to the options here. Screen. Full. Look, better fit. Look, this would be the way to go. And maybe there's one with scan lines, no dot by dot manual, no. Let's just go for fit. Aspect ratio, auto, no, that's just properly. Oh, you can have scan line. Oh, they are not proper, they just remove the half of the screen. Never mind. What a smoothing, I bet it will be ugly. Let's give it a go. Bah! As if they smear Vaseline over my screen. Thanks, but no thanks. Wallpaper. None. 3D display. What is... Oh! Unfortunately, I do not have a 3D TV anymore. Oh man, my previous OLED was a 3D TV. But it had burn-in marks very bad, so I just couldn't play on it anymore. Okay, let's just go for it one more time. Start game, local mode. How can you... Oh yes, like this. 10 stages. And I guess no, start. Yes. Winning run. Start. Now we know that the B button is turbo. This is much better when it comes to image. It feels like you have less space to maneuver around, but there's no difference in space. Only the screen is scratched. Stretched, I mean, sorry. But to be honest, I at least I can recognize why I said the Mega Drive version looked close to the arcade. Because it actually did look close. No, not the same speed, not the same smoothness, but the graphical design of the sprites, they were very, well, not perfectly spot on, but very close. You could actually see that they paid more attention, the graphic artist, to the original game than the artist that did Outrun. Yeah, Outrun on the Mega Drive is also still a fun game, really fun to play, and it has the same cool, yeah, split forks in the road and everything that made Outrun special was still available. But unlike the TurboGrafx version, it actually, the sprite design didn't look like the arcade. And with this game, Super Hang-On, yes, the sprite design did look like the arcade. Yeah, these lanterns on the side of the roads are more narrow than the Mega Drive version. They were a bit more fat, but not too much. And still, it actually gave me that feeling of the arcade hall. And now I'm playing the arcade version, the 360 version to be honest, on an arcade emulation thing that Sega did. This just indeed confirms my feeling that the Mega Drive actually was very close to the original. And that makes me appreciate that conversion even more. Oh great, oh man. With so many riders on the track, you can't just take the inner curve. You just gotta be where the bikers aren't. And the higher difficulty you choose when it comes to the tracks, the least time you can use the turbo, as you can see. I just press it and not even a second later I'm bumping into motorcycles. Also, all these corners are way sharper than in the first set of tracks too. I managed to prevent pressing into the signs. Boost please. Oh no, boost. No, I knew this corner was too sharp. Whoa, yeah. That was unpreventable and maybe on very easy, the harder tracks are still on. Oh shit! Again, yeah, you play the game on the console. For me, they can remove this notification because when Microsoft themselves, they don't care too much anymore for the reward points. I mean, it's still in beta now, as it was from the beginning, so they aren't doing anything anymore with it. So maybe you can still exchange the points, yes, true, but they are not improving on the program, removing the beta status. It's just standing still. So all it adds for me now is for when I want to make a video and running this game in back compat. In all my videos about the 360 games, or any game at all on the Xbox, you get to see this pop-up. Yes, you get a reward because you played a few minutes on your game console instead of a PC or a handheld. For instance, on my Steam Deck. Ooh, crash. What I think is amazing is that this game wasn't meant for an OLED screen. This game ran on a nice tube TV, cathode ray, and still the colors, they look authentic. So that at least I can give as a compliment to Xbox, that they actually did a great job converting these colors to modern screens. Because I am not going to adjust my TV just for a handful of old school games. I leave it as it is, because I need all my games to look good. And to be honest, they do. They still, so far, they all look good. I could almost say the same again for PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro, but the thing is, there's not too much backwards compatibility going on Sony's camp. And the one that is behind the paywall. And that is something that I can compliment Microsoft on, that the backwards compatibility is not locked behind the paywall. Yes, they make everything more expensive, but oh shit, 15 seconds and I'm still not close to the goal. So yeah, it is clear to see that this one is, oh, I'm gonna make it. Yes. Ooh. This is at least more difficult than the first set of tracks. Of course, you need to do more. And the more I crash, the more seconds I still lose. So very easy doesn't mean that I might be able to finish the other two difficulty settings tracks with even more routes to take. The only thing that I can clearly see and say is, look at these graphics. Yes, when you were playing on your old school, now let me first finish this. How can you, oh there. And, oh. Whatever, and. Ah, how long am I recording? Yes, we can do just one more. Let's go for the sprinter. Oh! This was not me steering too hard into the corner. This was me bumping into a bike on my right and he shot me to the left. Yeah, combine this with the also me steering to the left. Yeah, I couldn't even respond to that. Before I could see that I was swerving too hard to the inside of the corner, I was already hitting that side. You can clearly see that these old arcade games, they were designed for one thing and one thing only. Swallowing your money while dazzling you with the graphics and the speed. Because this, when we had this in the arcade, I was still playing on my Commodore 64 at home. And then this was a technical tour de force when it comes to graphics, smoothness. You couldn't hope to get a decent version of this at home. Although the Commodore Amiga version, that was slower, but also pretty decent, with way smaller sprites, but it still captured the feel and the look of the arcade. But still, the Mega Drive version was better. And for me, is still better. And yes, I'm talking too much now. If I would want to perform at this game, I know I can finish this stage and the other one also. But yeah, then it would make for like a regular video, a game capture of a game. Nobody's talking to it. There are so many of these already that for me it's more fun to make this video and actually talk about why they are so special for me. Or why I dislike a certain video. Because if you would like to see that, I can also try games that I never played before from the 16-bit era, 8-bit era, because I'm also planning on buying myself that new Commodore 64 Ultimate, the one from the new Commodore company that's been run by Perry Pacific, or I don't know the proper name, I don't know how to pronounce it properly, but I love his channel Retro Recipes, and he and his wife, they are just so much fun to watch. The passion for the classical old school thing is cool to see, and You can see this back in the product. For instance, I already have myself the C64. But there's something wrong with it. And what is there something wrong with it? I cannot use my original Commodore joysticks. I have to use the joystick that was delivered with it. And why? Well, I never tried it. And why did I never try it? On the joystick that came with the system, there are a few buttons that you actually need if you want to be able to use your own set of ROMs that you made from your own games. And games like Turbo Outrun, where you have to turn the disc, the floppy, you cannot do this with a regular joystick because these 4 buttons are missing, so you can't get the function to work to swap the side. And so you can press space to let the game know you can load now because I swapped over the disc. And with the new Commodore 64 Ultimate, they made the power button behave differently than the original, because with a certain function, by holding it up or down, you can get into a menu where you can actually swap the sides, select the new ROM that represents side B of a disc. Then you can get back into your game and actually press the space bar to let the game know you can load. So now you can actually use your Commodore 64 hardware that you still got at home, I still got at home, and I finally can play these games with a true sturdy joystick, because the one that came with the C64 to me is already broken. The joysticks sometimes stick to one side, especially to the right or the left, because I play racing games the most. And when you press upwards to accelerate in Turbo Outrun, and then while still pressing upwards, moving the joystick to the left or right to take the corners, then sometimes it sticks. I even had to open it up one time to get it unstuck. And then I saw that the joystick, the handle that goes into it and press the dip switches, or how do you call them? Oh, micro switches. They were pressed by a plastic stalk instead of a metal stalk in the original. So they used cheaper materials to make the controller. So if you play games like summer games, winter games, with the moving left, right, this joystick that comes with it isn't built to play these games. And then you are limited to what can you play on the C64. So yes, it's a great, easy to use thing. You can just connect to an HD TV, but it's not sturdy. So I haven't used it much anymore since the joystick is so broken. So, and this one is made by people who actually love the brand. I'm still not focusing, but still doing pretty well. At the moment, my mind is racing towards the Commodore 64, even though this is of course way more graphic advanced. But yeah, of course, I swapped to the Commodore 64 because I was comparing this to the version that I played at home. I must say, when you are focusing, this is so much fun to play. I should play old games more often, to be honest. But I'm also very hooked on Grand Theft Auto 5 Online. And my goal on the PlayStation version is to get the same level as I am on the Xbox, because that was my main console ever since the Xbox One release. But in this generation, Microsoft has kicked me too much with things that I don't like, that I actually stopped paying for Xbox Live, and yeah, my main console is just PlayStation now. That doesn't mean that, like other people that I do know that actually sold off their Xbox Series X, I'm not gonna do that because there's so much cool games like this that I can still play on it. So I'm not saying the Xbox Series X is a bad console, it's just that the decisions of Microsoft, I have been a fan of them from ever since they released their first console. But they removed that feeling from me. It's not that I don't want to, because when I think of the 360, when I think of the original Xbox, man, that was a very great first console. That improved on everything the other people did, except for that you had to buy some extra stuff to actually be able to play a DVD on it. You had to have a certain remote control or dongle that you stick in the socket where you put your controller in. But other than that, gaming-wise with Xbox Live and having a hard drive in there to improve on loading time. Ooh, look at the timer. We're not gonna make it. I was already saying that I wouldn't, but I know for sure that if I wouldn't have talked, I would have made it. Cool. Oh man. Well, I have been playing enough for this nice and simple arcade game. It is a great trip back to memory lane. How can you go back? Okay, it doesn't work, so let's just say if you reset. No, it's still going here, but okay, so let's just exit the game. It doesn't have to save the current data. Well, it was fun to go back and visit this game when I was thinking today back on that video that I made about the Mega Drive version of this game, while I was handling all the race games that were available on the Sega Mega Drive Mini 2. And it was actually fun to now in my mind visually compare the two. I already knew that the arcade version was faster and I already knew the arcade version was smoother. But they did the scrolling and the sprite design so convincingly on the Mega Drive that now I have played this arcade conversion again. I can confirm to myself, yes, the Mega Drive actually was a good port, not only by sunglasses, rose-tinted glasses, that things in the past would have been so much better. No, it was actually true, and I wanted to make this fact true for myself by making this video. Well, I hope you enjoyed it as much watching the video as I enjoyed it making this video and talking about the past. And hopefully somewhere in the future that the C64 Ultimate will also come to the Netherlands. I know I can order one from America, but if I have a problem with it and you need to send it back for warranty, then you might be waiting for months before it will return, because you have to ship it overseas. And actually I would have preferred if they also made a few service points in Europe. I'm from the Netherlands, so it would have been preferable if a service point was in the Netherlands as well, because then it's not such a big threshold to buy one of these Commodore 64 Ultimates, because I would want the Starlight Edition with the LED lights in it. And that would be really cool. So the new Commodore 64 Ultimate looks differently than the C64, which already looks as an original bread bin Commodore 64. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. We see each other in the next one. Goodbye.